Alright guys, welcome back. Moving on with the classes. This class is the Wizard. I decided to use the Moon Elf for this Wizard and the Sage background. So, going into stats. We're going to max out that intelligence. Then we're going to give ourselves some con, give ourselves some dex, make ourselves survivable, and even out wisdom and charisma. Make ourselves as potent as we can as a wizard. Alright, so wizard, you do have quite a few options. Since I chose the Moon Elf, as you can tell, I automatically get search as a free ability. I also get the ability to use some swords and bows if I wanted to use them as a wizard. So that can be great later on if you need to pull off some stuff. You can even make yourself a dwarf and get yourself some good amount of armor, make yourself a heavy armor wielding wizard. I've seen some stuff like that before too. So as you can tell, I only have 2 ability points. That's all you get as a wizard, and clerics as well, and rogues all share the same amount of starting points, but they all get some abilities. Wizards get 3 cantrips. They get the Ray of Frost, they get the Witch Bolt, and then it's not Fireball, but Firebolt. Alright, so we're going to start from the Arcane Tree. Mage Armor. I'm going to tell you right now, I like survivability as a wizard, especially at low levels. You're going to get 3 points every level no matter what class you are. So survivability early on is a must for wizards. So Mage Armor is great. I do like the fact that they gave you cantrips, so you can stay arranged if you want. So we have Mage Armor. There's 4 ranks in Mage Armor, eventually giving you really decent armor class and good fire, cold, and lightning resistances. Then we have the infamous Magic Missile. It does have a slower cooldown, but it's a little bit faster than some other spells, and eventually can do a fairly decent amount of damage. Then we have some Stinking Cloud. Good way to stun some things, especially if they're low con, and eventually unlocks your Cloud Kill. Favored among many wizards is Cloud Kill. Be very careful as a wizard though. If you play in medium or hard, you have a chance of hurting your other teammates. Some people like this, some people don't. I think it's a really cool aspect of the game, make it feel more D&D-ish. If you want to be an evil wizard and your DM is playing on hard mode, you can easily go into a treasure room and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to kill all you guys, and just kill the whole party, take the treasure for yourself. You might not ever get to really play much with another party, but interesting aspect to it. And of course, the ever so mighty Disintegrate. Can't get to level 11, but it can do some really, really nasty damage that very few classes can get this powerful in damage. But as you can tell, it is a very, very long timer. 4 minutes. Frost Tree. You start off with Ray of Frost. There are 4 levels of Ray of Frost, all the way up into the higher levels. You unlock Ice Storm with it. A lot of these spells are very recognizable from player handbooks. I just like the ability that some of them get more powerful as you get abilities. And also, please note that DCs and damage can also be increased as you gain levels. You add more points into intelligence and things like that, your damage is going to increase. So if I took this, it says 2 to 8 cold damage. It's based on intelligence, so if I were to go back and change my stats and put my intelligence down to 0, this is going to do a little less. I think it's going to do like 1 to 4. So intelligence does affect the damage of your spells. So I wanted to make sure people knew that. Some people are like, well, it says it does this much damage, so how is my intelligence even worth it? Why am I not just a close range, fighter style wizard? It does affect your damage and your DCs. It's just not as hugely noticeable as that was in old editions. Cone of Cold, great spell. I love Cone of Cold. It has a chance of freezing people in place and doing some really good damage, and it hits a lot of different things. The Freezing Sphere. Another good one. You guys see that? Alright, so Lightning Tree. I bet you guys can figure out what's going to end up popping up here eventually. So you get Witch Bolt, good range, basic ability. Unlocking Static, passive, give yourself some more chances to stun. Extra damage is always very, very important. Thunder Wave, good for if you get surrounded by a bunch of guys. You can get some levels in that. Then, there it is, the mighty Lightning Bolt. Burn through some baddies with the Lightning Bolt. Going all the way down to 3, giving yourself some really good damage and getting this fairly early. As you can see, because you get 3 points a level, you can unlock Lightning Bolt, spend 2 points on it, and then take it to level 2. Next time, take it to level 3. Really, really easy to go through. And then, the Chain Lightning. A great, great spell. So, moving into Flame, we already know what's probably going to pop up here. We have the Firebolt, and it's 4 levels of damage. We have Overchannel, which, you know, since there aren't any feats in the game, this is really good to get yourself some extra damage if you love to throw that fire around. Next we have the Immolation Sphere. Good damage over time and some direct damage spells. There's the infamous Fireball. Everyone likes the Fireball. And then Meteor Swarm. Love Meteor Swarm. Alright. So, here's the Manipulator Tree. I see a lot of wizards use this, especially in the lower levels. Hence the reason I'm going to take Sleep at the beginning. It's very potent early on. Because it has a 3-yard radius, you can drop a big group of bad guys, especially if you have your tanks run in. Throw a sleep spell in, that way you can be more focused on one person. You have your 2 levels of that. You have the Magic Weapon, good buff ability. Eventually unlocks Elemental Weapons. So, as you can see, really nice. Sleep also eventually unlocks Confusion, much like seen in the Rogue Tree. And then Charm, good old Charm. And this does work the way it's supposed to. You'll have it charmed, it'll run around with you as an ally. Just be prepared, because you don't see a timer, at least not any way I've found a timer to work. So you never know when you might be in the middle of a fight and then end up having an extra creature fighting for you. It's not like an animate dead ability. Transmuter, this comes by later. As everyone can tell, as soon as I start showing this, you have your slow, you have the great and powerful ability of haste, which I always have my wizard cast on me as a ranger, because I play a ranger every once in a while. Invisibility, great for getting out. Mass invisibility, great for also getting out of sticky situations. Stone Skin, another great buff spells. Transmuter, of course, is full of the good buffs and a couple debuffs with the slow. Summoner, I know everyone's sad there is no Necromancer for the wizards. The only way to get the Necromancer tree is by using Hamet, which is a wizard in the regular campaign or companion. He does have the Necromancer tree instead of the Frost tree. He has every other tree for the wizards except for the Frost tree, which is replaced by the Necromancer tree. I know a lot of people are upset by that. This is the closest you can get to having any type of conjuring things where you got your Conjure Animal, Cloud of Daggers. Give yourself some good slashing damage there. Mordenkainen's Sword. This is pretty cool. It's a lot like the Cleric's ability. Kind of floats around and kills and hits things for you. And it matches your level up to a particular level. You've got your 15 and then 20. And then gains its bonus to Strength and Con equal to your Intelligence modifier. Then there's Melf's Acid Arrow. Hold Monster. You gotta have a Hold Monster if you want to be a wizard. And then the Grasping Hand, which actually does some really good damage. So there you have it. There's your wizard. This is my Moon Elf wizard. Going on to the summary, just like I've shown before, you can change your portrait. A few different voices, alignment, including good and evil, and deities. So, there you have it, guys. Thanks a lot.